Thank you. The chair now recognizes Ms. Radewagen.
Talofa lava. We're grateful to Chairman Westerman for stewardship of COFA renewal so far, and to you, Chairwoman Hageman, for bringing us together today in such a timely way, now that we have full COFA renewal agreement packages for all three freely associated states. During the final signing proceedings with the RMI in Honolulu, I was struck by Special Presidential Envoy Yoon's remark that he never doubted RMI's commitment to strengthening the COFA alliance. Certainly, I would join Ambassador Yoon's assessment as to all three COFA partner governments. But now, we did not get this done before expiration, so we are under continuing resolution provisional funding measures that do not strengthen the alliance in a sustainable way. Without undue delay, we can and should exercise oversight and move the agreements forward to passage by the earliest and most expeditious path. It is now that legislators in our governments need to show commitment to strengthening our alliances by approving COFA renewal agreements in an orderly but concerted effort. There's much in these agreements that is ambiguous, subject to further interpretation and discretion of the parties. Congress can and should prescribe boundaries on interpretation and discretion of the parties as may be determined to best serve the national interests of both the U.S. and its COFA partners. In that regard, there are a few questions I'd like to ask for the record, and many others I intend to submit in writing. Madam Secretary, as you know, along with these compacts of free association, the Biden administration considers American Samoa to be a cornerstone of its U.S. national security policy for the Indo-Pacific. To that end, I was honored that Chairman Westerman appointed me chairman of this subcommittee's Indo-Pacific Task Force, and that Chairman McCall designated me vice chairman of his Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on the Indo-Pacific. In furtherance of these designations, and in furtherance of my responsibility both to my constituency and to American Samoa's role in national security, I am working on legislative provisions to remove Congress from mandatory consideration of changes to our local constitution, since, if needed, Congress already has that power under the U.S. Constitution, and another measure to ease the path to U.S. citizenship for U.S. nationals who already owe permanent allegiance to the United States. Both matters may seem small and have no budgetary implications, but they have wide support of our local leadership and the people, and would send a strong positive message to both Samoans and others in the region who very closely watch what the United States does in its territories and freely associated states. May I say that, subject to specific language, would the administration support small, non-controversial changes, or at least in the case of citizenship, if you need OMB approval first, I hope you'll give them a positive recommendation?
The question is about the citizenship or the constitutional amendments?
The question is about what I just asked you.
Okay, so if I understood it correctly, I want to reemphasize, we do understand how important American Samoa is to our national security as well. I've had the opportunity to visit and meet with you and Governor Lemano. Regarding the constitutional amendments, you sent me a letter back in late 2022, which I responded to. And after I reviewed the bill with the attorneys at the Department of the Interior, we found that the text was in good order, that the text will accomplish the stated purpose for which it was proposed, which is the repeal of 48 U.S.C. 1662. We did not identify any deficiencies or anomalies in the bill language, as you, the sponsor, had proposed. We will be happy to provide updated guidance and technical assistance should you choose to offer a similar measure this Congress. Now, regarding citizenship, we want to thank you for raising this issue. We'd be happy to review any draft legislation and provide technical assistance similar to what we provided on H.R. 9350
Thank you,
last
Madam
Congress.
Secretary. My time is short. Part 3 of the RMI agreement, paragraph 4, states that amendments thereunder do not affect the agreement referred to in section 462A of the 2003 RMI COFA, which is more commonly referred to as section 177 nuclear testing claims settlement, and which causes me to ask if this provision recognizes that section 177 agreement remains fully in effect and under its article 13 does not expire or terminate except by agreement and approval of the RMI, that the terms of the settlement can be amended by mutual agreement, that the U.S. has a legal duty to consult on the ongoing implementation of the agreement at any time requested, and that in addition to any past or present measures under the settlement, it can be amended to provide additional programs and activities as may be mutually agreed consistent with 177B of the compact.
Yes, Representative Radewergan, we completely believe Section 177 remains in effect.
Thank you. I do have other questions. I'm very out of time. Thank you, Chairwoman Hageman. I yield back. I will submit the rest of my questions for the record.